So why do Doodle size estimates so often fail? Someone thinks they're getting a mini 20-pound Doodle and it tops out at 50 pounds. It can be frustrating because you love that dog at that point. It's not random and it's not uncommon. It can be, for the most part, avoided, which is the good news. But it comes down to how people are making the decision about what puppy to get. The breeders are going to do their best, but you, as a buyer, need to do your work too. Most people look at the puppy and they're just looking at the puppy and they try to project it forward, but that doesn't work very well because what you see at 8 weeks doesn't tell you the full story. So instead, shift your focus. First, look at the puppy's parents, not just their weight, but their build and their consistency. Second, look at the puppy's grandparents because sometimes the parents look a little bit different than what you would think the grandparents look like, especially with Bernedoodles. You might have a 10-pound grandparent, you might have some 90-pound grandparents. You want to look at the grandparents so you can see what they look like, if there's what that Bernese mashed to poodle look like, and it's going to be very helpful. Third, look at the previous litters when that's possible. Most of the time it is. What do the previous siblings look like? That is going to tell you what actually happens in real outcomes in the past when you breed these two dogs. And finally, decide the range that you're comfortable with. Not your ideal, not an exact, but your range, because there's always some variability. If you want a 30-pound dog, you need to ask yourself, am I okay with a 40-pound dog? If the answer is no, then you need to choose a little bit different. The mistake that people often make is choosing right on the edge because and we'll talk about this in another video, the pricing is affected by this. And then what happens when you choose on the edge, you might get surprised when it goes over that weight that you wanted. Like if you're limited to a 20-pound dog in your apartment complex and your dog ends up 25 pounds, now there's some consternation there. So look at the parent size, look at the grandparent size, look at the sibling sizes, and see where your puppy fits within its own litter. Is it the biggest? Is it the smallest? Is it somewhere in the middle? Not always, but oftentimes, if it's the smallest and the range that you're given is 30 to 50 pounds, you're going to land near the 30-pound mark. And then if it's one of the bigger puppies in the litter and you're given a 30 to 50 range, it's going to end up in the 50-pound range. You can also consider the sex of the puppy. Is it male or is it female? So that if in the last litter, the smallest puppy topped out at 70 pounds and was male, and you're like, I'm going to get the smallest puppy in this litter and it's female, you can be pretty sure like that it's going to end up somewhere around the 60 or 60 pound range. So we're using some logic here, using some different adjustments. But what we have to do is we need to shift from looking at the puppy itself into the other factors that are around it, the parents, the grandparents, the other dogs in the litter, where it fits within that litter. And then we choose on what is most likely to produce the outcome that we want. We also want to look at how consistent the breeders are in producing similar dogs over time, because the consistency is a key part. We want to stop the guessing and we want to get that dog that we've been looking for.